Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. My ex-husband passed away. I'm to inherit everything, and his girlfriend that he left me for is trying to contest his will. Plus, little update. I feel terrible and I don't know if I'm entitled to his money, but I can't deny that I'm tempted. Not only because it was his wish, but also because I don't want to say no to this amount of money, around 1.3 million euros. My ex-husband, male 48, came to me, female 44, one day and told me that he was leaving me. This was about 8 years ago, and I was 4 months pregnant with our first child. I can't describe the hurt and confusion I was feeling. He didn't even give me any reason. I thought we were soulmates, and we were married for 10 years. I didn't see it coming at all. I tried to reason with him, but he was decided and he moved out within a week. A week later, his lawyer sent me a letter to move from the apartment. I found out a couple of weeks later that he had met someone, female 33, and that's why he was divorcing me and buying me out of our apartment. He never spoke to me until I had a late miscarriage 2 months after, not blaming him. He texted me that he wanted to see me and talk. I didn't reply. He tried to reach out a few times more, but I never answered him. When I met my current husband, male 42, he stopped trying to contact me. Now I'm happily married with 2 children, female 5 and male 3. About 6 months ago, I heard that he was terminally ill. I felt sad for him, of course, but I refused to go and see him as his last wish. This haunts me now that I know what he's done. His parents tried to get me to visit him, but I refused. What do you say to someone who hurt you this bad after all these years? Does him dying make it less hurtful? Does it make me forget my resentment? I didn't want to find out. Now his will stated that I'm getting the majority of his estate. His parents get a generous amount for their retirement, and his nephew gets money for college. But other than that, I get everything else including the apartment. He had a letter where he told me he was sorry about everything. He never stopped loving or thinking of me. In his mind, I was still his wife. He never got over the loss of our baby and felt responsible for it. He seemed really remorseful and he seemed to have followed my life closely. He knew who my husband was, my children, their names, my current job. I appreciate the letter, but it made me feel so guilty that I didn't give him his last wish. My ex-in-laws are now asking me to be fair and share the inheritance with his girlfriend, or she would be on the street. Since she met him, she had dropped college and never worked a day in her life, and she has nothing to her name. The girlfriend is threatening to contest the will, says that I have used and mistreated him and his trust, that I have manipulated him to give me everything, and that she won't leave her home. I don't know what to do. I don't feel that she's entitled to my money. And even if her existence doesn't hurt me anymore, I still hate her. She's 33, and I don't feel that I have obligation to provide for her. Also, isn't it disrespectful to go against my ex-husband's wishes? Now for the top advice before reading the little update. His parents got a generous amount. My ex-in-laws are now asking me to be fair and share the inheritance with his girlfriend or she would be on the street. Why don't they just share their generous amount with the girlfriend since they care so much about her? That's what my ex-husband's lawyer said when I told him about his family's request. Your ex had 8 years to change his mind about your inclusion in his will. He knew he was dying. If he had wanted his girlfriend to get something, he would have changed his will. He obviously didn't want her to get a penny. Do what his lawyer suggests. His lawyer is the one who knew what your ex-husband wanted. If you truly want to honor his memory and wishes, take the money he left you and live a wonderful life full of love. That is what would make him happiest. Block his parents. If they want to support the girlfriend, that's on them. Exactly. Sounds like the ex deeply regretted that choice and felt manipulated by the mistress girlfriend. Him not including her and revealing how he felt about OP and his regret suggests he felt resentful of the girlfriend. OP doesn't owe her anything, and it's the deceased man's decision who his money goes to. She can contest, but good luck in proving it in court. Plus, if she's too broke to even survive, how can she afford a lawyer? This is a genuinely good point. She can scream all she wants, but the wishes are in writing. OP has not manipulated anyone since she has been out of contact for years, and this inheritance is owed to her in his will. Nothing the girlfriend can do will change that. OP should offer the ex-in-laws an option to buy out the apartment. Since they want to help girlfriend so bad, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't think they can afford to buy the apartment. Then next best thing, allow her enough time to get a job, save up a deposit, and move out so you can sell it. About 6 months seems fair if you can swing it. This is her problem, not yours. She can find a job and a place to rent. Or I don't know, find someone else's home to wreck and live off that guy, since that's her thing. Either way, she's got a GTFO of your apartment. There is a comment somewhere here that the OP was told by her ex's lawyer that the ex prepaid for a 1-year lease on another apartment for the girlfriend, and she was not allowed access to the old apartment in case she stole items from there or damaged it. Obviously, the ex knew the girlfriend was a gold digger. Edit/update. You guys have given me a lot to think about, and I thank every one of you. Many have asked me if I was doing this because I hated the girlfriend because of our past, and if that hatred has clouded my judgment. Thank you for giving me this to think about. I instead asked myself if the girlfriend wasn't the one I had a history with, if it was just a random innocent woman he met later. Would I feel that she's entitled to the money he left me? My answer was still no, so now I'm pretty sure of my decision. I'm happy that it wasn't based on hate or resentment as I originally thought and felt guilty about. I believe whatever he's left me for whatever reason is mine, and therefore nobody is entitled to it. Thank you so much for helping me reach this conclusion. Next story. Wife was leaving me for someone else and he just died. Back in March, I, 33 male, found out my wife, 30 female, was having an affair after 15 years of being together. Completely broke my heart. I wanted a divorce originally, but opted to see if we could work on things. Our version of work on things is always to move past things and pretend they never happened. Obviously not healthy, and I wish looking back we did something differently. Couples therapy, communicate better, and so on. From March to August, things were okay. We pretended like it never happened, and since we never truly dealt with it, you could tell things were off, even though we continued to put a smile on our faces. In August, she admitted that she still had feelings for this other guy. August to December, we continued to live together, but we were growing apart. She was texting the other guy, though claiming that she was not. She wanted a divorce, but I was not ready to want that, though deep down I knew that there was no way our relationship could ever return to normal. I was holding out for how things were in the past. She was prepared to begin moving on with her life, but also was trying to be there for me as I grieved, which in hindsight probably gave me some false hope. I had finally come to grips with things over the past 2 weeks. A lot of therapy and talking to friends got me to a point where, though I didn't want to lose my best friend, I understood it had to be over for everyone's sake. My wife was planning on moving forward with the guy she had the affair with. He lived out of state, but he eventually intended to move here so that they could be together. I knew it would be a tough transition for me, but I was slowly ready to do it and began working on bettering myself for my future. Job promotion, therapy, lost 25 pounds, quitting alcohol, and getting a gym membership, etc. The other day, I found out he unexpectedly passed away. I had always hoped that they would not remain together out of pure selfish spite, but now seeing how broken my soon-to-be ex-wife is, I am completely devastated for her. I'm devastated that my marriage is over, but also devastated that her whole life is forever changed. I'm devastated that a person lost his life at a young age, regardless that he had a hand in my marriage ending. No one deserves that to happen. And as much as I wanted to hate this guy, he did seem like a good person otherwise, as crazy as that sounds. I can't even come to grips that this has happened to me, to her, to this guy. It feels like no one is winning or coming out better in the end here. It seems like nothing but sadness for everyone involved. I've tried talking to friends and my therapist, but I can't make sense of any of this anymore. People have told me I should cut off my ex and let her grieve, but she's been my closest friend for a decade and a half. Regardless of our marriage ending, I can't imagine not being there for her. I was finally getting to a place where I could see some sort of light at the end of the tunnel of my marriage being over, but now I just see a long road of everyone grieving for so many reasons, and everyone being changed forever, probably in a negative way, because of this. Edit, I just want to add, for those that are stating I should still move forward with the divorce, you can be sure that my intention is to do just that. I am not looking at this as an opportunity to be her second choice now. Edit 2, for those asking how he died, I would prefer to not go into details out of respect for any family or friend of his that may also be on Reddit, so as to not give away anyone's identity. You're suffering from ambiguous loss, I encourage you to explore this concept. While your ex-wife is suffering from actual loss, you're mourning someone who is still very much with us, and she isn't mourning you. Spending time apart and allowing yourself to go through the stages are going to be paramount to your future happiness. Denial and depression are going to be mountains to climb, but you're smart and you got a support system, therapy, and friends. Lean on your support system just like you've let others lean on you. You can climb this. I did. Many of us have been here. How you heal from it says more about you than any defining characteristic from your 15-year relationship. Avoid things that trigger you. Reconnect with the things you loved to do before you were in a relationship. Find that dude again. I bet he's a great guy. If my experience is anything to learn from, that support is typically a mirage unless the bond was strong or legally obligated. The only person you can always count on to show up is yourself. Anyone else who does, well, that's just gravy. All the best and good luck. Continue with the divorce. Don't settle for being second best. That guy may be gone, but there are plenty of others out there, and if she cheated once, she'll do it again. This grief doesn't suddenly make a bad person a good person. You keep saying best friend, but best friends don't betray each other. If you try to hang on to the marriage, you will simply go through this again later. Yeah, OP's soon-to-be ex-wife is not even worthy to be called a friend. Just look forward, OP. Don't agree with this take, we only know the infidelity. I do think OP should go no contact and recover and move on first and foremost. But if feels it in his heart to still be there and support this person he has 15 years of history with, who are we besides random internet weirdos? That said, strongly suggest separating and focusing on you first, OP. This is a sad time for her, yes, but you both still need to find your own way. Knowing about the infidelity is more than enough though. It wasn't an emotional affair. It wasn't a platonic relationship. She straight up banged another guy and got emotionally attached to him, all while staying with OP for added emotional and financial support, keeping things hidden as to not screw her support ring up. If you can betray someone who has been with you for 15 years, you automatically lose all chance to get some sympathy. She didn't say she was falling out of love to allow OP to sort himself out. She didn't make OP a part of her sexual discovery if this was it. She completely went behind his back knowing it was wrong, and then went wrong all the way. Relationships, including friendship, are based on trust. How can you ever trust this person again? Being beside them for 15 years wasn't enough to make her think twice about what she was doing, so I'd wager nothing will. OP's emotional responsibility ended as soon as she gave zero care about stabbing him in the back. Good riddance. I agree with you completely. Just because the guy she was banging behind her husband's back died, doesn't put her in any kind of good light. She's still a piece of trash and deserves no emotional support from the husband. I have no idea why OP has the stomach to even give her sympathy and feel bad for her or the guy. Now for the last story. My husband got our girlfriend pregnant without discussing it with me. My husband, 38 male, and I, 30 female, are in an open marriage. We've been married for 5 years and open for the past 2 years. Currently, we have a long-term girlfriend, 26 female, that we have both been with for just over a year. I'm also 30 weeks pregnant, and we're also excited to welcome our daughter into the world soon. Our relationship and time in the bedroom has never been better until the other day when our girlfriend announced her pregnancy to us. I was so surprised, I didn't know she had been seeing anyone else. After I congratulated her, I asked who was the father, and she said that my husband was. This was something that we never talked about at all, so I politely asked her to leave while I discussed this with my husband. Apparently, her seeing me pregnant and so excited convinced her that she was ready for motherhood herself, and she told my husband that she would be stopping her birth control. My husband never told this to me, and neither did our girlfriend. So, the entire time we've been together for the past few months, they were having completely unprotected sessions without my knowledge, which was not part of our arrangement. I'm still his wife and she's just our girlfriend. I feel so betrayed by my husband to go behind my back like that. They don't understand why I'm mad, they think that I should be happy. I was aware that my husband has a breeding fetish. So do I, but this is much different than just role-playing situations, and they don't seem to understand that. I don't know how else to express to them how disrespectful that was to me. Edit, we had a written agreement that birth control is to be used with our partners. We even discussed in that same written agreement that any pregnancies would not continue if it were to fail, but this was intentional and non-consensual. Now for OP's trashing. Hope you both have a child support fetish. You made me laugh too hard and my cat woke up. 3 hours later, somewhere else in the world, another cat named Dolly has been rudely awakened by my laughter. Off to go soothe her with some temptations now. I'm still his wife and she's just our girlfriend. I have some unpleasant news for you. Right, she's just our girlfriend. I'm pregnant and I know my husband has a breeding fetish. We are polyamorous and have regular unprotected activities. But how could I have seen this coming? They're a bunch of morons. Good Lord, they're producing more morons. Sweet Jesus, when I think my life is in a mess, I come here to comfort myself. My depression about my life has been cured today after reading this. I know the feeling. When you read something like this, you realize that you actually don't have any significant problems.